So, Battlefield 6. There's a pretty good chance that it's going to be revealed soon, and with that reveal, there's a pretty good chance that we're gonna see gameplay footage of some type. You know, it's to be expected, as we are slowly nearing what is the usual reveal window for a Battlefield game. Expecting footage to be shown soon is pretty realistic at this point, especially because of when the game's planned to be released. By the end of this year. So, in other words, we're probably going to see some potential campaign footage soon enough. And there's a good chance that there will be a campaign. And in that case, I want to talk about why I don't think there should be. But before getting into it, make sure to subscribe, because it seems that saying subscribe early on in the video notification for YouTube. It seems that saying subscribe early on in the video is actually a good thing, so I'm just going to try it. Anyways, so yeah, subscribe, and let's get into why the campaign just should not be a thing. So, in my opinion, and I feel that in the opinion of many Battlefield fans, campaigns for Battlefield, for the most part, just aren't particularly good. They just are not very good. I think it's a pretty unpopular opinion to truly enjoy the Battlefield campaigns outside of Bad Company. Now, I've never played Bad Company 1. But I did play a demo and I enjoyed that. But I did play Bad Company 2. I played that in 2010, and that's how I properly got into the series. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that campaign a lot. But then we get to Battlefield 3, and then it's like, what is this Black Ops 1 wannabe bullshit? And on top of that, from there it's like, okay, now we got Battlefield 4. God, I thought Battlefield 3 sucked. And then from there, Battlefield 1, which it seems a decent amount of people liked. Personally, I was not a fan of Battlefield 1's campaign. I thought a lot of it was very boring and forgettable. Like, the prologue, I enjoyed. I thought that there was a lot of potential for that. And from there, I was like, oh shit, okay. This may actually be really good. And the way the reveal trailer really hyped things up, okay. I'm curious to see how this plays out, especially with all these different war stories, and then we get to the war stories, and they were just all forgettable. Like, I don't care about any of these characters. There isn't enough time to properly develop any of them. I don't care about any of these settings. Like, there's potential here, but none of it is just interesting enough. And then from there, we move on to Battlefield 5, which I did not buy that game. The beta, it told me everything I needed to know about why I wouldn't enjoy it, so I figured I'm just not gonna buy it. And then, yeah, it seems that most people don't really remember Battlefield 5's campaign, so that speaks for itself. But, yeah, aside from Bad Company, Battlefield campaigns just haven't been it. And I think that if we are to see a campaign with this game, it would just be a waste of resources. I'd rather him just put all the effort into the multiplayer 100%, and maybe a co-op mode if they decide to throw that in. Since with the leaks and rumors of this game being Battlefield 3 inspired, having a co-op mode similar to that game would make sense. Because with this year being the 10-year anniversary of Battlefield 3, in a way it could be seen as like, this game could be like the 10-year anniversary of that game. Like, hey guys, remember this? You remember all these good times in Battlefield 3? Well, now they're here. So yeah, just having emphasis on everything that matters with the game, I think would be the best course of action, because that's not the main reason people buy Battlefield campaigns. Even the people who like the campaigns, I think, can agree that they're getting it mainly for the multiplayer. Unless you're like a part of the 0.00000%, or 1, excuse me, there is a 1 there, percent of people who only plays it for the campaign. But I think most people play Battlefield for the multiplayer. And putting all the resources into making that as great as it can, especially because Battlefield desperately needs that refresh right now, because it is not in the best place at the moment. It is definitely in a very different place from where the series was 5 years ago with the reveal of Battlefield 1, with all the hype from that, and how many people were just like, fuck COD this year, I'm going over to Battlefield this time around. And now there's just so much anticipation for Battlefield 6. There's so much excitement for this game as of now, because people are just craving that fun, very chaotic first-person shooter, because Back in the day, there was a whole bunch of stereotypes about how Battlefield's slow. You can't find more than one enemy within 15 minutes of playing the match. You had to run around for like 15 minutes in Battlefield 3 to find like one enemy player, man. Battlefield's boring. When if you actually sat down and played the game and learned how to play it, you'd know that just simply is not true. Battlefield is very fucking fast-paced, especially on the smaller maps, or just more claustrophobic maps, let's call them, like Operation Metro, for example. Operation Breaking Point is it called, that one Battlefield 4 map, which was just pure chaos. And now with the rumors of 128 players in the game, which there's a good chance that's also going to end up being true. Like, probably a 90% chance, just going off of my own assumptions. So just imagining 128 players on a Battlefield map, all the chaos that's going to ensure from that, that's going to be fucking wild. Absolutely wild. So there's nothing anyone can say. And on top of that, when it comes to craving a modern shooter, I want to go back to that. Yes, Modern Warfare is popular. But at the same time, there obviously is a good chunk of people who are not in love with the game like that, like so many people are. And a lot of those people, I want to say, are probably newer fans who are experiencing COD for the first time, which that's fine. You know, I don't believe in gatekeeping with anything. Like, if a series can expand in some way that feels, I guess, natural, somewhat, and new fans can be brought in, then you know what, so be it. I think that's cool, because that just means more people are exposed to that product, and therefore more people are going to play that game. So, you know, why gatekeep? Like, sure, there may be some annoying fucking dickheads in a community, but the overall side of things, yes, even with toxic gaming communities, still, just knowing the fact that that game's so much more popular because of it having such a big community, it only helps in the long term, so long as that series is treated well enough. And yeah, just point being, a lot of people, there is a good chunk of people that are just craving that modern shooter that's fast-paced, that isn't fucking campy, that isn't just doors cluttering everything. Just a truly fast-paced, modern-day, or possibly near-futuristic shooter, which is still modern enough to be relatable, but is futuristic enough to have some technology that isn't quite there yet, but can still make sense in the setting, and people think it's really cool because of that. You know, that's why authenticity is important. You know, that's another topic I'm going to get into at some point, authenticity versus realism within gaming, with Battlefield 5 being a good example of that. But like I said, I'll get into that in a later video. But yeah, all in all, that's why I don't think Battlefield 6 should have a campaign. I think all the focus and resources should go right into the multiplayer, making it as amazing as they can, having it truly bring back the series to where it was before, even if they have to play it a little bit safe by making it Battlefield 3-esque. If that's what they gotta do, and that's what works, and they can execute it well, then I'm completely down, because, man, having another Battlefield 3 in my life, that would be so nice right now. No, really, it would be so fucking nice. It'd be such a great escape. And I have not had a truly fantastic multiplayer. This is just speaking for myself. I haven't had a truly fantastic multiplayer I've just stuck with constantly for a while now. And having Battlefield 6 potentially be that would be nice. You know, something that lasts for me at least 6 months. I miss that. That I'm just consistently on at least once a day, once every other day. Just consistently enough to where I truly feel active. And I'm not just going weeks without playing it. So I'm really hoping for the best. Again, I'm keeping my expectations low. I've said this many times in videos before. But I still feel excitement, and I'm still looking forward to this. And yeah, I am hopeful. And I do think that, all in all, this game is going to end up at least being good. If not great. And the fact that it seems that all hands on DICE at deck... All hands on deck at DICE, I meant to say, are really putting in all their efforts, and hopefully they're really paying off. And EA, even though they are a corporation and they are not to be trusted, the fact that they said that the game's ahead of schedule, that does still give me faith nonetheless, because it's like, why would they say that unless the game was in such a bad state that it's not going to work by launch? Like, I feel like if this was another Battlefield 4, for example, that wouldn't have been said by EA. But the fact that they're saying that about Battlefield 6 makes me think, okay, maybe this game will turn out good. Especially if this upcoming COD turns out to be Another World War II shooter already? You know, man, people don't want this. Just give the series a fucking break at the very least. Like, look, if you want the shit to be annual Activision, fine. Just give it at least 1 year off, though. At least one. People are so fucking tired of it. And if Black Ops Cold War sales are anything to go by in comparison to Modern Warfare 2019, I can only imagine what COD 2021 sales are going to be. For, I guess, COD World War II 2. Toot-toot! The toot-toot train! All hyped aboard for the toot-toot train. Toot-toot train! So, yeah. Toot-toot train. Yeah, hopefully, there will not be a campaign, but there probably will be. And you know what? In that case, I hope it doesn't completely suck, or maybe it'll be so bad that it'll end up just being good. I'd be fine with that. I'm not even trying to be an asshole. Like, if they decide to do that, I'm cool with that. Or better yet, just have a campaign that doesn't take itself so seriously. I think that's when Battlefield's at its best. Battlefield knows that its writing is not particularly good. At least the Bad Company games are aware that Battlefield's campaign shouldn't be taken seriously, so instead of taking themselves seriously, the game, for the most part, a lot of it was very comedic. A lot of it, yes, there was many serious elements to it, but in a lot of cases, it didn't take itself so seriously. And because of that self-awareness about it, and because it didn't take itself so seriously, and there was so much joking and chemistry going around, it led to the game not having to worry about amazing writing as much with a serious plot, which those flaws definitely came out with campaigns after. So yeah. Even though there will probably be one, it would still be nice not having one. You know, in the case of most games, I would want there to be a campaign. But in the case of Battlefield, it just doesn't need it. It just doesn't need it. It doesn't need a story mode. And, yeah. I'm just looking forward to it, to this multiplayer. So, yeah. That's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to, talk about this for a video. And, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this talk. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe for future content coming soon. Hit the dislike button if you did not like this video, as well as turn on the notification bell and set it to all notifications. And follow on social medias. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. But until then, I'm out. Later.